ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, that homeless guy behind the gas station. Welcome to GMs for Hire, GMs Live yet again. Matthew and I are back. Supposed to have Jamil. We could still be seeing Jamil by the end of today. We have yet to figure that out, but he has received an invite and he could be tuning in. So we will be hopefully seeing Jamil later on today. Frank returning, our guy already.
What's up, Frank?
How you doing? Glad to have you in the last episode. Glad to see you back. And we're also seeing Justin in the YouTube comments. Don't worry, brother. We'll get to you here in a minute, especially on one that I already see right there. I know that Matt would love to talk about that. But Matt, been a week. Last week you had to leave a little early on us, so I'm sure the people wanted to know what all you had going on. So take us through a little bit of what you've been up to and how you're doing now.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you guys while I do a little behind the scenes stuff here. But last week I had to leave early. I'm actually doing stuff with USF hockey. I go to USF. I'm a junior here, University of South Florida. If you're not a local or living in Florida, I'm basically doing play-by-play or color commentary for the hockey team, which is a great opportunity for me. I'm going into that career field. Basically, it's always been my dream to be a play-by-play broadcaster. So it was my first hockey game last weekend. Luckily, the Bulls won. For my first game, I think it went pretty well. And so I've been if I'm not here doing GMs, I'm usually away doing stuff like that. But overall, it went well.
Hey, you got the support of Justin down there saying that's awesome. And congratulations. I just wanted people to know that you've got a pretty cool gig going for you. So, hey, congratulations. But let's get right into it, folks. We got to talk about the hottest topic in sports. And it's been, not exactly a busy week, but there has been some pretty big things going on in the sports world. And I think we need to start in the NFL because two veterans just signed to two very good teams, actually. And so, we'll get to that. I'm sure we can talk a little bit about that as well, Justin. But, we're going to start with the NFL. Right now, the first one you got to lead off with is the man with 9 lives, Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon has signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. How long is this going to be? You and I joked about it. You and I joked around that we give him about 11 minutes, and I saw a post the other day that said, he signed a 2-touchdown, 350-yard contract, which, sounds about right, on par for the course. How many times is Josh Gordon going to get another chance at the NFL? And so it's just crazy. But Josh Gordon, when he's there, he's pretty electric on the field. At least he has been. So, Matt, I want to get your thoughts. Joining the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously an explosive offense, and now he's back. So let's hear it. What are your thoughts on Josh Gordon going to Kansas City?
It is what it is. It's like when he joined the Seahawks. You get excited about it because there was a point where he was one of the better wide receivers in football, but you can't be one of the best wide receivers in football if you're not playing football consistently. So, he's another body for the Chiefs. I think it'll be a couple weeks before we see him. Whether or not he's in football shape, you got to kind of ease back into it, learn the playbook, everything like that. How much value can he actually bring to the Chiefs is the main question. And, you have nice options. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, two of the best options in football. Hardman is still there. Pringle, I think. I don't know how much he plays, but I remember the name. You have people. I don't think Mahomes needed another target, but if he's willing to, come in 1-year deal, which he won't live out, I do think he'll, I guess the word would be relapse or once again violate, the NFL's rules, how he's been doing. I don't know how the NFL keeps letting him back in. I know he takes, he goes to rehab and he does everything he has to come back. But, how much does that mean if it just keeps happening again? So I don't see him making it out of this season, not only clean, but maybe without injury, because that's always a possibility in the NFL. This deal kind of does nothing for me, and I don't think it'll do much for the Chiefs either.
Justin makes a good point here. He did spend a little bit of time in that fan-controlled football league, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he was on the team that won it all. I could be wrong. I'd have to look a little bbit more into that, but I know him and Manziel were in that league, and so my big thing is that I don't know how many times it's going to take Josh Gordon to learn. It's season after season after season. You get excited. Josh Gordon, Flash Gordon, whatever you want to call him, he's a great wide receiver, and he's an asset when he's on the field. But the biggest ability is availability, and he's never available. What's going on?
How many subs did we have before we started this live?
416.
All right, we got 417. So
subscriber, go Hornets back, you love it.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's so good. I'm glad to have it back. That reminds me. Let me go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and put the YouTube channel in the description so people can go out and go find it. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube like Justin, you should just go ahead and hit that subscribe button already. I don't know what you're doing wasting time.
Yeah, if you were the one that subbed, please comment. So
we'd love to have you comment. We love to shout out our fans. Let me hop into this little live real quick and drop this pinned comment. That comment I just dropped in the Facebook is going to be pinned, and it is the link straight to our YouTube page. If you go ahead, you go join the family, you go subscribe, then you will get the subscriber goal horn. If you were not ready for that, and this is your first time hearing that, sorry if that scared you. But hey, that's the thing around here. So Matt typically keeps an eye, he'll keep an eye on us for the subscriber count. But expect the goal horn. Typically we announce it beforehand so you can prepare. So Josh Gordon, again, it's the best ability is availability. And the thing is he's just not available. How many times is the NFL going to give this guy a chance? And as much as I'd love to see him stay healthy, I'd love to see him get away from drugs. I'd love to see him just stay on the field. He's like the NFL's John Bones Jones. Shout out to here we go. There we go. Lucky number 417. We have is that Ricky?
Ricky.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's Ricky. Ricky Walters. Shout out Ricky. I'm assuming that's the correct way to pronounce it.
Love you.
Tell you. I hope so. I hope that's correct. Shout out Ricky. Number 417. We love to have you here. And he said, Frank saying, sorry, not much of a football guy. All good. But we said Josh Gordon's like Mike Vick. Yeah, getting in trouble a lot, getting, trying to. But he's the NFL's John Bones Jones. He's great. When he's in the ring, John Bones is amazing, and he's one of the best in his weight class, one of the best in UFC history, if he could stay in the octagon. But he's just always has so much trouble. It is correct. Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate you. So it's one thing after another with him, and it's just annoying. But hopefully Josh Gordon can, knock on wood, hopefully figure it out this time. I mean, 12 times the charm. Guy's the cat. He's got 9 lives. I think this is number 5 or 6, so we'll see him a couple more times. So let's get everybody else's thoughts. Feel free to put your thoughts in the comments section. We want to hear your guys' opinion as well on things. Anything that we have going on, feel free to drop your opinions or feel free to drop some questions for us. But the other big signing this week would be Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman also joining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's coming out of not necessarily retirement, I guess you could say. But he was left unsigned going into this season. Took a little bit of time to find a team. Now he's finally signed with Tampa Bay. Apparently, TB12 gave him the call, and he's going to be making his way out to Tampa Bay. After losing Sean Murphy-Bunting, this is huge. That guy broke his arm week 1, so this could be a big thing. Right now, you got Carlton Davis and JaMychal Dean. Give me your thoughts on Richard Sherman going to Tampa Bay, man.
Unlike Josh Gordon, this one makes a lot more sense. It fills a need. Clearly, like you said, SMB getting injured week 1. He's the best member of the secondary the Bucs had. So that definitely put a damper on things for them. And overall, the Bucs defense so far this season has not lived up to the hype, at least numbers wise, in sacks and interceptions and stuff like that. So bringing in a veteran like Richard Sherman, formerly of the Legion of Boom, one of the best defenders in football at a point. Does he still have enough left in the tank? Who knows? I didn't think he was any bad in San Francisco, but this really shows how much pull Tom Brady has. It's kind of like LeBron in the NBA. If he reaches out and says, I want you on my team, more likely than not, it's going to wind up happening. But I do like this deal. It's 1 year. It's somewhat low risk. I don't think this is a risky deal for the Buccaneers at all. and Richard Sherman fills something that the Bucs desperately need, because I think the Bucs secondary is the worst aspect of their game, not only defensively but just overall any aspect of their team. I think the secondary is the weakest, so I do really like this deal.
For sure. No, the secondary is definitely the most concerning part. Absolutely. And especially after losing one of your better ones, if not your best secondary member. So good on the Bucs to go get them. I agree with Justin here saying that, Brady's the best GM. Yeah, Brady is the best GM in the league. If Tom Brady calls you and he goes, "Hey, I want you on my team," you go. I mean, exactly. It's just what you do. I'm not surprised to go see him, have him run over to Tampa Bay. But I think it's a great signing. It's a low risk situation to where you're bringing in a veteran guy to hopefully figure some stuff out on already a great, competent defense. What could be the hurt? So it's a great move by Tampa Bay to go in and bring him in. And Tampa Bay's got a big game coming up this week. Tom Brady and Gronk, they return to New England. They're going back to Gillette Stadium for the first time since leaving the Patriots, which will be a fun little situation. Obviously, probably going to be a huge homecoming for those two. What do you think that atmosphere is going to be like? I'm assuming they get their ovation. I'm assuming it's not going to be a boo, but how long into that game before it starts becoming boos because Tampa Bay is going to be running the table in that game?
I don't know, because I feel like a lot of Patriots fans are Patriots fans because of Brady and Gronkowski. It's like if Jeter ever left the Yankees, I don't think Yankee Stadium could ever boo Derek Jeter. Just the impact, the sheer aura of him being back in the stadium, feels right. And yeah, they're gonna get recognized before the game. There's gonna be a video package, how they do for returning players, and it's going to be a nice moment. I don't think the game's going to be too nice for Pats fans. The Bucs can't be happy with losing last week to the Rams, who are a good team, but you're the defending champs, and they just snapped a win streak that dated all the way back to mid-season last year. So you can't be too happy about that. I think obviously Brady's going to be comfortable in Gillette Stadium. Where else would he be more comfortable? Gronk might not play. He missed, I think, the last two practices, as did Jason Pierre-Paul. So I don't think that's going to affect the result of the game. But, of course, you want to see your stars returning on the field, not just off of it. More stuff in the last week have kind of come out between the relationship of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Brady not saying he didn't want to play for Bill anymore. Bill apparently always, according to, I think it was Brady's trainer, said that Belichick from day one always treated him like a rookie, like a young kid, despite obviously after like 4 Super Bowls with him, still treating him like the kid. I mean, I wouldn't appreciate that. I don't think any veteran, any MVP caliber player would deserve that. But I think that'll be interesting if we see Belichick and Brady embrace after the game. I think that's probably the biggest storyline. More than the return, it still has to be Brady and Belichick's relationship.
Imagine if they don't shake hands. Imagine if
exactly.
That'd be nuts, and Justin brought that up here in the comment section saying, what's your take on Seth Wickersham's book coming out about the Bill and Brady drama? There's going to be a lot going on, and a lot of questions are going to be answered this week. I think we're going to see a lot, or imagine Gronk goes and shakes his hand, but Brady doesn't. We've already seen Brady not shake Foles' hand last year after the Bears won, and everybody thought that was the biggest thing. Or no, it wasn't Foles. It was Goff. After the Rams had taken down the Bucs last year, and that was a big thing. And he didn't go and shake Goff's hands, and he was saying like he hardly knew the guy and everything. I'm like, well, you played a Super Bowl against him, all this, and so it was like a big deal. Justin, I did not see that Tom Brady lost his voice today, but I think if he had COVID, we'd hear about it. I think that would kind of be on the front lines at ESPN almost everywhere. I'm sure he's fine. And what do I think about the approach of Mac Jones? I think, unfortunately, it's probably not going to matter what his approach is. It's Tom Brady. It's
Tom Brady at Gillette Stadium.
It's a veteran versus a pure rookie. And if I'm not mistaken, is this? Oh no, they played in Gillette Stadium last week. I don't know why I was thinking this would be like the Pats home opener, but this is probably like the third or second game that they've played at home. Anyway, GM's times two. What's up, Joanne? Happy to see you. Happy to have you here in the comments section. But hey, speaking of the Rams, we talked about them. They just got done playing the Bucks, and the Rams took a victory. And last week in the Pick'ems, I was the only one to take them, and I said that multiple of us said that this could be an NFC Championship preview. A lot of us had high regards for that game. And after the Rams won, and how the Chiefs are off to a slow start, are the Rams the team to beat in the NFL? I mean, they've already been one of the best defenses for quite some time. They have amazing offensive weapons, especially in the passing game. And then they brought in a decent quarterback in Matthew Stafford to put it all together, and he's fit in great. All these games putting up, high 20s to 30 plus, and the defense is doing everything they can to shut things down. The Rams are looking like a solid, put together team, and on the number one in a lot of people's power rankings right now. And do you think that this is a long-term thing, or do you think this is just an early start? Obviously, I think it's fair to say that they're a competitive team. They're going to be a team that competes, but are they the team to beat early on?
I mean, you can make the case for that. It really all comes down to Matthew Stafford, because what he's done, the way he's transformed this offense has been, beyond, I think, expectations that the Rams had when they acquired him. I mean, Stafford was always a good quarterback in Detroit on a really bad team. Now I think you can start getting into that conversation where is Matt Stafford elite? And I mean, all signs point to yes at this point. He has, like I said, turned this offense around. The Rams had 2 or 3 running backs go down with injury before the start of the season, so that automatically takes out your run game. Cam Akers and Darnell Henderson are 2 solid running backs who make a pretty good tandem. Taking them out of your offense is kind of a big hit, but luckily you have great receivers. Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson's been great. Robert Woods is still there. Tyler Higbee is your tight end, is a nice touch. Stafford has the weapons he's always needed. He had Megatron for years, but who else did he have? Nobody. Yeah, there was always a guy here and there. Kenny Golladay recently, but it was never the right time. And now I think Stafford's in the right time at the right place. And you put Stafford's offense with that defense, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, based on everything I'm saying here, names alone, they probably have to be the team to beat. They're undefeated for a reason. You beat the defending champs, which, like I said, no one had done since the middle of last season. I mean, the NFC, the whole league really has to watch out for the Rams. I still obviously think the Bucks are right there. They're probably the second best team in football right now. Working on the secondary, if Sherman plays really well, that's going to help a lot. But I mean, you could say that the Rams are the team to beat.
I know that our boy RJ would argue that the Bucks are still the team to beat, and I know he made that case in the week 3 or week 4 predictions, saying whenever it comes to October, or not October, we're in October basically. Whenever it comes to the playoffs, I'm thinking baseball playoffs. But whenever it comes to the postseason, when you get to January, February, all that, who are you going to be worried about? And are you going to be worried about Matt Stafford, or are you going to be worried about Tom Brady? And obviously, the answer is Tom Brady. That's no joke. Obviously, 7 rings speaks for itself. But Matt Stafford really hasn't had the opportunity. He's played on a garbage team in Detroit, been to the postseason 3 times, 0-3. But, if Detroit was getting to the postseason, kind of lucky, honestly. They never really had that good of a team. I can't remember a time they had a good defense. And I sure as hell can't remember a time where they had an offensive weapon, a consistent weapon outside of Calvin Johnson. They may have had a guy here and there. I know Brandon Pettigrew played great as a tight end for a little bit. I know Kenny Golladay had his times, as well as somebody else I'm forgetting of right now. But Marvin Jones, I know had quite a bit of success with Matt Stafford. Yeah. It's just, Matt Stafford's been there in the league for a long time. He's not a new kid on the block. He's just the new kid in LA. And honestly, it's a big upgrade from Jared Goff. And this is a team that already went to the Super Bowl without Jalen Ramsey. This is a Super Bowl caliber team with Jared Goff and without Jalen Ramsey. And now you've got both of them, and it's starting to look a little bit intense. I'm not going to lie. Let's see here. We've got Justin calling it right now, saying that the Arizona Cardinals are going to take down the Rams this week. Obviously, the Cardinals are playing hot as well, and they're interdivisional, so that game could definitely be pretty close. I don't hate the take. And if I'm not mistaken, you also took that take this week. I think you said the Cardinals are taking down the Rams.
That was one of my islands. Yeah. I totally believe in the Cardinals. I think they're playing some special ball right now. I know it hasn't been against the best teams. They've been played a little close, but whether they win by 1 point or 30, it's a win. So I definitely think that the Rams are in for a letdown game at some point. They're not going undefeated or anything like that. That's silly. And yeah, what Kyler Murray's been doing is special. So I'm looking forward to that game especially.
Joanne chiming in saying that they're going to be a tough team to beat, and that the Dallas Cowboys are looking, they don't look too bad either. I said that after week 1. I thought the Cowboys played the Bucs real good. I thought the Cowboys looked like a great team. They looked even better against the Eagles. I mean, it's the Eagles, but they did what they were supposed to do. You're supposed to take down those teams, and you're supposed to look good against not so great teams. So I don't like that. I don't hate that take at all. Let's see here. He's also saying he's making a couple predictions. AJ Green, Christian Kirk will ball out on Jalen Ramsey. Also saying that Kyler Murray will ball out, saying that Matthew Stafford has to worry about John Bones' brother, Chandler Jones. And then saying that, he corrected himself. He said Kyler Murray for MVP, and then he corrected himself and said Derek Carr for MVP, which is disgusting to think about. Give it like 2 weeks, and that won't be the case anymore. But yeah, no, I mean, that's going to be a good game. The Rams Cardinals is going to be a great game. Two more teams that are great, but I really think the Rams are the team to beat. I said it last week on the Pick'em videos. Again, click the pinned link on the YouTube and go check it out. In our week 3 predictions, if you go timestamp it to the game where we talk about the Bucs and the Rams, I said it there. I was the only one to take the Rams last week. And I said that I thought the Rams were the best team in the NFL, and I'm sticking by that. Until I have a reason to step away from it, I'm sticking by it. And they looked great against the Bucs. They didn't just look good; they looked great. The Bucs got some points a little bit late to make it a little bit closer, but I mean that game was pretty much the Rams. And the Bucs did what they could to hang in there, but the Rams looked really good overall. They controlled the pace of play, they controlled the score. They controlled a lot of things. They held momentum for a very long time in that game. So I like the Rams. I still think they're the team to beat in the NFL as of right now. Obviously, still very early on. I mean, right now the Broncos are undefeated. So, it's one of those things to where, it could be what it is. And Justin's actually asking, are the Chiefs not going to win that division? And what's that?
It's a good question.
It is a good question. Honestly, the Chiefs are off to a 1-2 start. The Broncos and the Raiders both undefeated, and the Chargers are 2-1. I mean, it's early, but the Chargers, at least, I think I did this division matchup with Jamil, and I said the Chargers are easily a wild card team if they can stay healthy. And the Broncos defense has gotten really good. Vic Fangio's a defensive genius, and I think this could be a good thing. And shout out Frank saying he's back. Frank, we're just about to move to baseball, so welcome back. But yeah, no. Do you think it's a Super Bowl hangover? Do you think the Chiefs are just in a spot where they could win the division, or do you think it's just way too early to be freaking out about the Chiefs?
It's a little early. I think they'll probably still win it. I mean, it's the Chiefs. They haven't really regressed at all since the last couple years. I mean, no, they're still on top of the league. Like, they're still a top 5 team. I really like what we're seeing, though, from other teams in that division. The Broncos have looked good. It's Teddy Bridgewater, though, so I give it no confidence. This will dip soon. The Chargers, I always wind up rooting for the Chargers low key. I don't know. Maybe it's uniforms. Maybe it's Justin Herbert. I don't know. He's legit, by the way. He's legit. They're special too. But I gotta talk more about the Raiders. The Raiders, I raved about them in it's actually Raiders Chargers this weekend, our Monday Night Football. So it's a great topic to bring up. It's going to be an important matchup. It's going to be exciting. Which team is legit Monday night could somewhat play into that. Derek Carr, like Justin said earlier, MVP. I don't know, but he's been playing really, really well. I'm really excited to see these two teams play because both have looked good and both have electrifying players that are electrifying. I guess I don't know, but I guess in the end, I'm saying that the Chiefs will probably still win the division, but I would love to see someone else give them a run for their money.
Yeah, no, the Raiders were my team last year. I hopped on the bandwagon for, and I announced it in the AFC West preview video that the Chargers were going to be my team this year that I'm hopping on early. And I said, Chargers fans, take that with a grain of salt because, I hopped on the Raiders early and they flopped. And I'm still on that Chargers bandwagon. I still think that they're one of the better teams. I don't think they're the best team in that division, but I think they could be a team that could be dangerous. But the Chiefs lost to Baltimore, who is a great team, and they lost to the Chargers, who, in my opinion, are also a great team. And it's an interdivisional matchup. And I'm pretty sure they lost to the Chargers last year, too, in one of those two matchups. Don't freak out about the Chiefs. It's a matter of time. But let's move on to baseball. Baseball, obviously, the sport that's near and dear to our hearts. You've got some stuff to worry about when it comes to baseball because mainly of this man, Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien and the Toronto Blue Jays, you guys are in a very, very, very important series right now to determine wild card standings. But Marcus Semien's out here breaking records. He's making history. He's becoming the best single season second baseman of all time. Potentially, and he's in a 1-year prove-it deal with Toronto, and could honestly get MVP votes, which is nuts. And honestly, if it wasn't for Ohtani and Vlad, he could honestly run away with it. But Marcus Semien, obviously, that man's going to get a fat bag. But how fat of a bag are we talking? Where do you think that guy's gonna? What kind of money? What kind of teams you think are going to be in on Marcus Semien? Middle infield this year in this offseason is going to be huge. A lot of big names are out there in the free agency this offseason. So what are you thinking about that payday looking like for Marcus Semien? Is he the highest paid second baseman all time?
Maybe. I want to know who the highest is right now. It might be Cano with that deal he got from the Mariners. I think it definitely. Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah, look that up while I use words. Semien is 31. He'll be 32 in. He just turned 31. He just turned 31 on the 17th, a couple weeks ago. So he'll turn 32 at the end of next season. How much do you want to give him? This is his prime. Obviously, it's the best year of his career. Kind of came out of nowhere because he never really did this in Oakland. He was always good in Oakland, but definitely not on this level. I don't know if it's the change of scenery or PEDs. I don't know, but you gotta wonder because he's never, 44 home runs is kind of out of nowhere. I could pull up. What was his career high before this? It was 33 in 2019. So. I don't know. Something crazy is going on. Maybe this really is his prime, but I probably is his prime because you look at last year, COVID year, he had 7 home runs, which people struggled all over the place in the COVID year. So you look at the last 2 full seasons, then this would be his prime. Based on Cano's deal, which I think was low 300s, low 300 millions, I believe, if not mistaken, but it was like 10 years or something ridiculous.
Right.
Semien, I think he'll get something around, what would I offer him? Maybe 5-6 years, almost 200 million. I'll say this. I don't think he'll be the highest paid player in this free agent pool coming up. You have Corey Seager, you have Trevor Story, you have Carlos Correa, Max Scherzer, Robbie Ray, Carlos Rodon. Scherzer's too old to get that big of a bag. If they do, if a team does that, you have to be win now mode, really.
He could get like a 1-year deal for like 30 million, 30 plus, but he's not going to get a long multi-year deal by any means.
Yeah, Scherzer could have something big annually, but in total, he wouldn't get something like that. Robbie Ray is one that could, because he's around Semien's age. He's seemingly hitting a prime because what he's done, as I watch him pitch behind me, Yankees only 1 hit right now, by the way, through 5 innings. It's a Judge solo shot. They're down 2-1. Boston is losing right now 6-1 to the Orioles. So Yankees need to win this game. Back on track here. Ray could be getting a big bag. The highest paid shortstop, I would like to say it'll be Correa. There's no guarantee.
You don't think Seager?
I don't think Seager. I do think Correa is better than Corey Seager.
Is it the injury issues? Or do you just think Correa is better?
The injury issues are part of it, but I do think all around game, it's Carlos Correa right now. Story and Seager, I don't know. I think they can get similar bags. I want to see, obviously, I don't want to say Coors effect, but we've never seen Story on a different team. So obviously there was no Coors effect with Nolan Arenado. He's fantastic, and Trevor Story isn't on Arenado's level, in my opinion. I hope you can agree with that. So similar bags. I don't have really team predictions. I do think if the Tigers want to get serious, go get Correa. I've seen talk about that. I think that'd be fun.
Would be fun.
I think a couple players re-sign. I spoke to you about this. I think Scherzer's going to stay in LA with the Dodgers. Rodon, I think for now could stay with the White Sox, but if not, a team like the Cardinals would be pretty. I think it'd fit in pretty well.
Pitching bad.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this though?
No, I think Marcus Semien is going to get a pretty solid bag, and Frank said that his price has just gone up, but then whenever I asked if he was going to be the highest paid second baseman of all time, he said no, which I believe you. I believe you're correct. But Frank, this contract deal that you threw out, 4 years, 180, that put him at an AAV of $45 million, which for an annual year, that's by far the highest paid second baseman. Altuve right now is the highest paid second baseman at $29 million a year, and the next closest is DJ at 15. So second basemen don't get money like that. Obviously, Marcus Semien, played shortstop prior and has moved to second base because of Bo Bichette. So, I mean, there is a little bit of, question. Do you pay him as a shortstop? Do you pay him as a second baseman? What do you do? I think Marcus Semien's going to get I think he could get like you said he's 31 now going into his age 32 season.
Yeah.
I don't think you give him anything over 4. Obviously, I mean, after 35, 36, you're pushing it. But he is coming into his own all of a sudden. If there's a lot of teams that could be in on him, honestly, I could see a team like Chicago being in on him. The Cubs, the Cubs said that they're going to be very active in the off season. I think that I think that the Cubs could go for him. I mean, right now they don't have a lot to go for. So they have a lot of holes to fill. I mean, who exactly on that team do you want to keep other than Wilson Contreras? You've gotten a couple people, Ian Happ, sure, but he's had an up and down season. Frank Schwindel has kind of like locked himself in as the first baseman of that team. But other than that, I mean, it's not great. Let's see. Frank said the Angels don't forget them. The Angels have David Fletcher. The Angels. Yeah. I think the Angels would be happy at second base. I don't think they're one of those
pitching. Teams. They do not need bats. They need pitching.
Yeah, they need pitching out the ass. It's ridiculous. Did this just happen? Did Anthony Rizzo just hit a home run?
Yep, Anthony Rizzo home run, tie game. Yankees 2 hits, 2 solo shots. We're tied.
How's this comment make you feel about Seattle Mariners winning the World Series?
Refuse to lose. I believe that the Mariners probably won't even make the wild card, but it's a nice concept. Mariners fans are always very cute because it's been so long. They don't know what it's like. It's a unique feeling. And it's nice, run with it. Sure. If they make the wild card, they're going to lose the wild card. So no World Series, but we'll see what happens if they even get that far.
From GMs for Hire, Seattle Mariners fans, you guys are adorable. Keep it up. But that
all rise.
All rise. Judge goes deep.
Solo shot Aaron Judge, his second of the game. It's his 39th of the season.
The Yankees have the drink in them going back to back.
It'll tell me it's his 39th. It's a back-to-back dongs, and the Yankees are in the lead. That's off of Robbie Ray, by the way.
2 big doinkers for the Yankees and
future Cy Young Award winner. Yankees have 3 hits, 3 jacks, and now Stanton's coming up. So.
Efficiency. Let's see what Frank had to say here. He said, everybody seems like a good playoff team, but when they get to Yankee Stadium, forget it. Seattle, Minnesota, Cleveland, forget how to win whenever they're in Yankee Stadium. That's a good point. Whenever and right now, if the Yankees can continue to, hang on throughout this rough patch at the end of the season between Toronto and is it Boston or is it Tampa?
It's Tampa.
Yeah, what the hell? Why not? So you're having a great time. But if they can manage to hang on and do some things, and if they host that wild card game, I mean, it's Garrett Cole at home. It's gonna be a fun one. And if you're the Mariners, who the hell do you pitch in that game? I mean, Marco, Polo, who knows?
Chris Flexen.
Kendall Graveman, throw him out there. Screw it.
The Astro?
the mascot. Put the moose out there.
Moose.
He said, "Oh, okay. So Justin's saying that Tampa's going to rest their players, and the Yankees are going to win that series."
Potentially they could rest a couple of guys. I mean, who's the Rays ace right now? I mean, Glasnow's out. I can't remember.
Shane McClanahan. Go Bulls, baby.
Let me see if the probables are up, because I know the Yankees have 2 of their probables up right now. The Rays will see Nestor Cortez and Jordan Montgomery. Tomorrow, the Yankees will see Shane McClanahan, and then Shane Baz, and then Michael Wacha. So all theirs are up.
Oh, my God.
Yankees are to be determined on game 162, but I like our odds. I think we've beaten McClanahan. This will be our first time facing Baz, and then Wacha. I think we split our season against him so far. I'm not exactly sure, but his ERA is in the 5s, so let's get on that.
Baz is in the 5s?
No, Wacha. Baz is 1.69, and
I was going to say Baz is off to an amazing start. I thought,
in 2 or 3 starts, he's 2-0. So, and then McClanahan's been good. He's 10-6, 3.44 ERA.
Love that kid. Anyway, but the AL race is hot. I mean, we talked about it last week. It's going to be a fun one, and luckily we're going to have the answers by our next live, which will be a great one. Sure. And we've got a couple of hits here. We got the Mariners are going to win it. We've got all from Justin, and the Giants are going to win their division. It's a matter of time. Obviously we're going to find out. The NL. I know the NL wildcard game is a week from today. So the Cardinals will be facing one of those NL West teams, regardless of who it is. They will be facing them. And Adam Wainwright has already been named the starter. So obviously, I think we all saw that coming. At least, definitely Cardinals fans saw that coming. Yeah. Obviously, if it's the Dodgers, I'm sure you're going to see Scherzer. If it's somebody else, if it's the Giants, you're probably going to see Gausman. It's one of those to where you're going to see the best of the best. But can old man Wainwright do it on the road? And we'll see. And that actually, I'll actually get into our next segment that I was going to do with Jamil here, but I'm going to keep this for you. I'm going to do a little bit of a game, and folks, if you're in the comment section, want you guys to play along as well. We're going to call it fake or for real. We're going to talk about a couple of teams that are either hot or are off to a great start, because we're going to talk about NFL and we're going to talk about MLB. And we're going to talk about what teams are pretenders and what teams are contenders. What teams have it going on and can actually make a splash in the postseason or in the regular season in the NFL's sake, or what teams are just off to a good start or off to a hot end and are really just putting on a show. So because of that, I'm actually going to start off, since we were just talking about them, with the St. Louis Cardinals. Obviously, winners of 18 of 19. They finally clinched, and the hungover Memphis Redbirds played the Brewers and lost 4-0. But they come right back today, still sit half their team and beat the Brewers again. That right now they're rolling. They're on an unbelievable month. The month of September has been nothing but positive for the Cardinals. And unfortunately for them, they are going to have to face a team out of that NL West. But in a one-game playoff, anything can happen. So do you think the Cardinals are fake or for real?
Sorry, Gleyber Torres 2-run shot. It's 5-2.
Yankees are hot.
they have 5 runs on 4 hits. All 4 of those hits are home runs. Bronx Bombers, baby. The St. Louis Cardinals, very hot, very hot. They've won 18 of 19, right?
Yes.
That's as hot as it gets, folks. Are they legit? Are they fake? Are they for real? I mean, they're for real. And like Papa Brad just
commented, Papa Smurf.
They're clicking exactly when it counts. But is it enough to defeat who I'm going to guess they're going to play the Dodgers? I do think the Giants will hold on. Is it enough? It's hard to say. Clicking when it counts is fine. And if they were heading into the DS in like a 5-game set, I would say they could make it work. But it's a 1-game playoff. I don't know how reliant you can be. I'm not really worried about the bats. I think the Cardinals hitting is where it needs to be. And Wainwright's been great. Wainwright has been – this has been
turn back the clock.
Yeah, this is some of the best Wainwright stuff we've seen in years, if not his whole career. He's doing something really special. But really, I mean, did he face the Dodgers at all this year?
I'm sure he did at a point, but I can't.
Yeah,
I don't have those stats right in front of me.
I feel like he started against them at least once, and I don't remember it going bad or good. But the Dodgers are a good team, and everyone knows that. Obviously, they put money and effort into building this. Picking up Trey Turner and Scherzer would be great. Wild card game, do you go Buehler or Scherzer?
Scherzer.
And Scherzer's been as hot as a player as the Cardinals have been as a team. So it's gonna be very interesting. And the Cardinals always seem to be better than ever in the postseason. Like that's their forte. They always find a way to make it there somehow, no matter how shitty the regular season winds up going for them. And Brad, again, Papa, the Dodgers ERA in the playoffs against the Cardinals isn't good, and that's something to play into. But of course, this is a much different team. When was the last time the Dodgers and Cardinals faced off in the playoffs?
Ooh.
If it makes you think, then there's my point. I mean,
yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, these are different teams. There's no, Albert Pujols isn't there. I'm sure they've faced since then. I know they have, but
okay. Continue. I have to go find this game because I need to get the complete box score on this. But Wainwright did pitch against the Dodgers this month and went 8 1/3.
Hey, if you get Wainwright to go 8 1/3 against the Dodgers, you're in for a good postseason. But I don't think you can be reliant on that. You can just kind of pray for it, and if it happens, that's great. Papa, there's no chance Kershaw pitches.
We just pray.
Yeah, I know how that works at Kershaw and the Cardinals, but no, I mean it's going to be a tough game for the Cardinals. They're a clear underdog, but I don't hate their odds. It's just you have to kind of go with the Dodgers realistically right now. Yeah.
So going into the 9th, Wainwright had pitched 8 innings, giving up 2 runs and 4 hits with no walks.
That should get the job done. And then, of course, the Cardinals bullpen. You win 17 straight. It's a good bullpen, but I don't know. I don't trust a lot of guys in the pen. Gallegos, I think, from what you told me, has been good. Reyes has definitely had his ups and downs this year. I don't know. Do you trust enough guys in the bullpen? You want your starter to go long in the wild card game. Obviously.
Absolutely, of course, but right now, I think is the best the bullpen's been this year. And obviously, I mean, the team's won 18 of 19. Everything's the best it's been all year,
Yeah.
But the bullpen, we finally had a couple of guys step up and become the guys. Alex Reyes was about the only consistent piece in the first half of the season. And after the All-Star break, he forgot how to pitch. He Rick Ankiel'd the hell out of the second half of the season. Was looking real rough. But all of a sudden, we've taken him out of the closer role. We bring him in around the 6th or 7th, and he's been shut out. I mean, he has been completely locked down early in the whenever it's I guess it's just less of a pressure situation for him, and I don't know if he just handles it better. But he's been great. Luis Garcia, we actually got from the Yankees. He was a longtime AAA closer with the Yankees. He stepped in. He's 34, and he stepped in and finally found his footing in the MLB. His ERA is under 3 with us. TJ McFarland, we finally have a lefty that isn't Andrew Miller, that is in the bullpen and can be consistent. We've had Tyler Webb, who was awful. We had Chasen Shreve, who was awful. It's just all terrible. And so we finally have another lefty we can go to, which is great. Justin, my boy, you got to pick somebody to win this World Series because you're saying Mookie's going to win it all. You said Seattle's going to win it all. Hey, only one team walks away with the commissioner's trophy, my guy.
Right.
But hey, we'll see. But I like where the Cardinals are at. Obviously, big Cardinals fan. I'm going to say that we're legit. I truly believe that we are. I think we have a chance to make something happen. And in a 1-game playoff, you can never count anybody out. That's the problem. There's no telling what could happen. Wainwright could have the game of his life. Scherzer could, knock on wood, hope it doesn't happen. Scherzer could I don't know, blow out a hip, whatever the hell, he could hurt his wrist playing Guitar Hero like Joel Zamaya. Who fucking knows? There's no telling what's going to happen. So the Dodgers, obviously on paper, I mean, they definitely look like the better ones, but I like my Cardinals' chances. That being said, we'll move to the NFL side of things. Fake or for real, the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos. I know you love your Teddy B, and they're 3-0. They're looking great coming off a 26-0 win, but it was against the Jets.
Yeah.
And they've also beat the Giants and the Jags. Are they for real?
No. I mean, no. There's no way you can call this team legit or for real, however you want to call it. No. Teddy Bridgewater's under center. He's fine. He's a fringe starter in the NFL, in my opinion. Where was I going with this? Yeah, sorry. They face teams that I think are combined 0-9 or something like that. Strength of schedule can be everything, and the Broncos have gotten a layup to start this season. I think it's all downhill from here. I'm trying to think of who they play this upcoming week.
Baltimore.
So yes, it's all downhill from here. Two Louisville quarterbacks going at it. I think that's fun.
Oh, that's fun.
There you go. But no, they're not for real. They're pretty fake. And I think now this week is the start of their downfall.
Fair enough. Fake or for real, the Atlanta Braves.
Frank. Sorry, Frank said have a good night.
Oh, take it easy, Frank. We love you. Thanks for coming out.
Love you.
Fake or for real, the Atlanta Braves. Obviously, they haven't clinched yet, and they have the lowest win total of any team. Whoever wins that Division A is going to have the lowest win total out of anybody going in. But they do have a very young, solid core, and not a lot has changed from last year. You're seeing Austin Riley step up, seeing Adam Duvall step up. Can the pitching get it done? Their core is very similar. Are the Braves fake or for real without Acuna?
Well, right now they'd be slated to face the Milwaukee Brewers, who, despite losing Devin Williams to a drunken punch to the wall, they're still fake. I mean, it's the NL East. None of these teams are really, really good. I do think the Brewers is the best Brewers team I think we've seen in years. I know they've made the playoffs several years in a row now, but this team is pretty good. And I do think the Brewers will be able to handle this rather easily. Obviously, Austin Riley's come into his own, and that's great. But I don't think the Braves have a stable bullpen. Their starting pitching I'm fine with, but overall, I just don't think it'll be enough. Unprofessional, but my computer is about to die, so I'm going to take care of that one real quick.
By all means. I will stall for a little bit. Take it easy, man. He dipped out and everything. Oh, he's audio only. He can still talk if he needed to. But hey, shout out to my dad. My dad said if Riley doesn't hit, they are done. I think that's a great way to look at it. Austin Riley's been a lot of their offense here recently. Guy's a stud, deserves MVP votes if we're going to be honest. Unfortunately, won't get it, but definitely deserves to be in the conversation. Talking about JBJ and everything, obviously Justin's probably pulling for the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're going to be, like Matt said, slated to face whoever wins that division out there in the NL East. So that'll be a fun situation for them. And he's also saying that the Braves are fake. Seems like everybody in the comment section is saying that the Braves are fake. I mean, this is a weird situation. I guess it's just because Acuna is gone, because this is a team that was just a game or two away from the World Series last year. This is a very good team with a reigning MVP on it. I mean, the Atlanta Braves are a very young, very fun team to watch. And obviously they're going to be back. They're the Atlanta Braves. And that core is going to be stuck together for quite some time. But yeah, I guess you could say that the Atlanta Braves are probably a little bit fake this year. And I know I've got a fun one for Matt whenever he comes back here. But if anybody's got it, there he is, a handsome guy. So obviously I got to give you this one. And this will be the final one for fake or for real. The Vegas Raiders. The Vegas Raiders are also 3-0. And they've taken down the Steelers. They've taken down who else? The Ravens. They've taken down some good teams. They're off to a hot start, 3-0. obviously they are in that tough division with the Chargers and the Chiefs. But is this something that you can see going on? I know you're high on them right now. So do you think the Raiders are for real or are they fake?
I am riding high on the Raiders. I want to say they're for real. I do think they'll be able to clutch out a wild card spot, like I said earlier in tonight's proceedings. I do think the Chiefs will still pull out and be the AFC West champs. But I would like to see one of the teams in this division, whether it's the Raiders or the Chargers, not the Broncos, in the wild card spot. The Raiders have been playing good football, and 2 of their 3 wins are overtime victories. But like I said, it's not about how you get them. I do think they're gaining pieces. I think their defense is slowly improving. The offense, they have their weapons. They have Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller. Who's their main wide receiver? I'm sorry.
Ryan Edwards probably right now.
Yeah, there was one guy they got.
Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, Ruggs, who I think is improving as well. It's only his 2nd year, so I'm taking my time with him. I do think that out of all these teams you've named, the Raiders could be the most for real.
Actually, I'll give you another one. I just thought of one. Let's see. My dad chiming in the YouTube comments. I like their chances at the same as Vogelbach against the Freeze in a foot race. There you go. I would pay to see that. But I'll actually give you one more. I just thought about it on the football side of things. Fake or for real, the Cincinnati Bengals. They're off to a 2-1 start, and their offense has been clicking. They have been absolutely ridiculous on the side of things. They're off to a good start. The Bengals have upset a couple teams. Are they fake or are they for real?
I mean, is this like I don't know if this is like a setup or not. No, they're fake. I mean, this is the Browns division to lose. I mean,
you don't think they could sneak a wild card? That's what I mean by obviously their expectations was to be dead last.
Right. With the teams in the AFC, like I said, if I want the Raiders to win a wild card spot, I can't.
There's 3 of them.
Okay. I'm getting. We're heading into MLB postseason. I'm very set on that format. So there's 3 wild card spots for the AFC. One's going to the Raiders. One's going to shit. If there's 3 of them, then shit. I mean, the Bengals might be for real. I think the Steelers could still be in the run for a wild card spot. I don't think they're going to be this bad forever. I mean, Big Ben's not going to get any better, but I do think they'll be able to figure something out. There being 3 kind of changes everything. Thinking about other divisions, the Titans will take the South. Jacksonville and Houston, big bad. The Colts could maybe pull out a wild card spot.
They got to get hot here soon. They're 0-3.
Yeah. I think their schedule overall is just pretty tough. So maybe not this year for the Colts, but okay, then sure. If the Bengals can keep this up and their division hasn't been the strongest outside of the Browns, sure. Let's be optimistic. The Bengals could pull out a wild card spot.
I like this guy, but don't forget they lost to the Bears, damn it. They have 2 big wins, honestly. Their 2 wins have been kind of impressive, and they're playing currently as we speak, if I'm not mistaken, for Thursday Night Football against Jacksonville, which ought to be a slugfest. I haven't checked in on that game, but it should be a slugfest.
Let me check on that.
Yeah, by all means. Did you know MGK is overrated?
Yeah, because I'm an MM fan, so yeah.
We're on Cincinnati MGK style. MGK is overrated, and the Bengals are overrated. Well, you're sad.
Currently, Jacksonville is up 14-0.
Oh no! Maybe the Bengals are fake. Take back everything.
Yeah. Scoring plays: James Robinson a 6-yard rush.
Love it.
And Trevor Lawrence a 7-yard rush. James Robinson's on my fantasy team.
Also on one of mine.
And Tyler Boyd. So I hope both teams have fun and score a lot of points.
I just hope both teams have fun.
Oh, wait, did I bench Boyd? I benched Boyd. I don't care.
Jags to the top.
Yeah, Duval, yeah.
Yeah, Duval.
And Burrow is this guy's opposing quarterback. So, yeah, Duval.
Yeah, Jags to the top.
To the moon, baby, yes.
Jags to the moon. Hey, we're getting to that point where we have to get to the Final Four, all dramatic. Final Four. Yeah. All right. We're going to ask the crowd yet again. We've got about 8 viewers here between Facebook and YouTube. We've seen it go up to double digits multiple times today. Somebody feel free to drop into the comments a Final Four topic you'd like us to cover, whether it be our top 4, our top something. Justin, make it about sports. Come on, brother. I love rappers. It's all great and stuff, but come on, man. Let's make it about sports. Come on. We got 11 people viewing right now. Let's see it. Let's get a top 4 topic. Unless you got one.
Singers still aren't sports, Justin.
Yeah, those do not play sports. Maybe best singers that were once offensive linemen at Clemson. Lee Bryce would be number 1. But we
actually a Clemson O lineman.
He played football at Clemson. Lee Bryce. I don't know what he played. He may have been D-line. What's that?
That must have been when they were bad.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There you go. Your top 4 favorite home run hitters. We can do. Yeah,
sure.
You know what? Give me. You know what? We'll edit it a little bit. We'll do just top 4 favorite. You want to just do baseball players of all time? Do you want to do your most influential baseball players of all time?
Top 4 players that I consider power hitters. Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth hit for power quite a bit. We'll do both. We have time.
We got to do that one. That was fun.
Babe Ruth, Alex Rodriguez, Nolan Gorman, and
hell yeah,
and Shohei Ohtani.
Give me Josh Hamilton, Barry Bonds, Jose Canseco, and Todd Frazier, all in the same home run derby.
That was almost very dirty, William.
Yeah, I had to get some clean in there. Shout out Todd. Shout out USA. Give me your top 5 current NBA teams, but wrong answers only.
Is this like who I think are the best, or who like my favorites are?
Don't tell us, but give us the answer.
Without telling you which, Milwaukee Bucks, Denver Nuggets, New York Knicks, Orlando Magic, and Guangdong Tigers.
These are his favorite, folks.
Guangdong Tigers.
Top 5 NBA teams, if we're all going to be honest, definitely got to be the Sacramento Kings. They're up there. Oklahoma City Thunder, Seattle Supersonics, and
the Harlem Globetrotters.
And you got to love the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. Love the Mets. Hit a home run, baby. Love the Mets.
Home run, baby. Let's go Mets.
Whatever. What the hell? But yeah, so let's go ahead. We'll throw it into, per usual, when we get to this part, the closing thoughts. Matthew, closing thoughts on today's live.
Oh, God, I hope the Yankees win this game. Top 7, 5-2. Nate Pearson is in Florida's own, St. Pete's own, Tampa's own. I don't know. He's
Tampa's
local.
Own.
He's local to me. He just
with the Bishop McLaughlin in Tampa.
He just struck out Higgy. He struck out Kyle Higashioka on a pitch that upset Garrett Cole because it was very low.
Sit down, Hickey.
And he's right. Hickey, though, he will be participating in Sports Jeopardy, which we'll be recording shortly after. Catch that next week. I got something in my brain that I want everybody, if any of you are watching this, please reach out to any of our socials. I'm trying to work out something big in the coming months for a Sports Jeopardy, something spectacular. So Justin and whoever, Papa Brad, if you want, that'd be funny. Please reach out and I can get you guys in on it because I want a lot of people involved.
Hey, Justin's final thoughts. Matt is awesome, and Will is awesome.
Those are the best thoughts.
I can't. Do I need to follow up on that? Closing thoughts. Hey, it only took 17 straight, but we clinched it, baby. No matter what, we always find a way. Don't ever count us out, no matter the percentage. We're always going to find a way to get there. But for Justin, for my dad, for Joanne, Frank, everybody who's been in the comment section and everybody watching at home who did not participate in the comment section. Shout out our new subscriber, Ricky, by the way. And shout out everybody else who's been a part of the live, whether you're just viewing and watching from home like a weirdo, or if you're in the comment section and actually participating. We love having you guys. You guys are awesome. Makes the live so much fun. But until next time, we are going to deuce on out of here. And we can catch us at the same place, same time next week. If not, if you're watching this on recorded or you're still here and you're not subscribed, click that pin link in the comment section. Come sign the contract and join the family. And then you will get your own goal horn. Maybe next time. Oh, we love goal horn here. But until next time, we will catch you later. For Matt and for Will, for the GMs at home, Jamil and RJ, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.